Right now, somewhere in America, a couple is signing papers on a house they cannot actually afford. They look happy, they took photos, they posted it on Instagram with the keys in their hand and the caption, "We did it." But behind that smile is a mortgage payment that will quietly devour them month after month for the next 30 years. Here's the question nobody is asking out loud. Who can actually afford a house in 2026? Not who can get approved, not who can somehow scrape together a down payment. Who can buy a home and not wreck their financial life in the process? Because the income numbers required to do this responsibly will genuinely shock you. We're breaking it down by price tier $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, and beyond, so that by the end of this video, you know exactly where you stand and what it truly costs to get in. Let's talk about the $250,000 house, the affordable myth. Let's start at the entry level, a $250,000 home. This is the house politicians point to when they say housing is still within reach for working Americans. It sounds manageable, it sounds possible, but let's look at what the math actually says. With the standard 20% down payment, you're putting $50,000 out of your pocket on day one. That's not a monthly payment. That's cash liquid, accessible, gone before you touch the front door. Your mortgage on the remaining $200,000? At today's average 30-year fixed rate of around 6.8%, your principal and interest payment lands at roughly $1,305 a month. But that's only the beginning. Add property taxes, which average around 1.1% of the home's value annually, homeowners insurance, and routine maintenance. And your true monthly housing cost lands somewhere between $1,700 and $1,905. Here's the rule you need to know. Most financial experts say your housing costs should never exceed 28% of your gross monthly income. That's the guardrail that keeps a mortgage from turning into a trap. To stay within that guardrail on a $250,000 home, you need to be earning at least $75,000 to $85,000 a year. Here's the gut punch. The median household income in America right now sits at roughly $74,580. That means the average American family is right on the razor's edge, and that's before we factor in student loans, car payments, or a single credit card. A $250,000 home isn't a starter home anymore. It's a stress test. By the way, if this is landing for you, subscribe. The algorithm doesn't push videos that challenge how people think about money unless viewers actively tell it to. Let's talk about the $500,000 house, where most cities begin. Now let's step up to $500,000. This is where most major metropolitan areas start. Suburban Atlanta, parts of Texas, Phoenix, Tampa, and in cities like Los Angeles, Seattle, or New York, $500,000 barely gets you a one-bedroom condo with a parking spot and a prayer. 20% down here is $100,000, a six-figure check written before you've replaced a single light bulb. Your mortgage on the remaining $400,000 at 6.8%, roughly $2,610 a month, principal and interest alone. Fold in taxes, insurance, HOA fees where applicable, and the maintenance costs that always show up in year one, the HVAC unit, the water heater, the roof, and you're realistically looking at $3,400 to $4,000 every single month. To afford that without slowly bleeding out financially, you need a household income of $130,000 to $150,000 per year. That puts you in roughly the top 20% of American earners. Let that land for a second. If you're buying a $500,000 home responsibly, you are out-earning 4 out of every 5 American households. And you should be treating that leverage with serious intention, not using it to max out on mortgage and live paycheck to paycheck with a nicer zip code. Let's talk about the $1 million house, the new normal in expensive cities. $1 million. A $1 million home used to mean something, a statement, an estate, a symbol of making it. In 2026, in cities like San Francisco, Boston, and Los Angeles, it means a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house on an ordinary street with no pool and a 1-car garage. Here's what getting through that front door actually costs. 20% down, $200,000. In cash, liquid, sitting in your account, ready to move. Monthly mortgage on the remaining $800,000 at 6.8%, approximately $5,220. But in high-tax states like California or New York, property taxes alone can run $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Stack in insurance, HOA, and maintenance at this price tier, and your total monthly housing cost can land anywhere from $7,500 to $10,000 every single month. To handle that without your retirement account going dark and your emergency fund hitting zero, you need a household income of at least $250,000 a year. Only about 5% of American households earn that, 1 in 20 families. So if you've ever scrolled through Zillow at midnight looking at million-dollar listings thinking, maybe one day, the math just told you exactly what one day requires. And now, you know what to aim for. If you are getting value from this video, hit the subscribe button. Let's talk about the 1 million plus house, the world most people never see. And then there's the tier beyond that, the $2 million home, the $3 million, the $5 million. At $2 million, your down payment alone is $400,000. Your monthly housing costs, mortgage, taxes, insurance, and the kind of maintenance that comes with a home at this level can hit $15,000 to $20,000 a month. To do this without financial recklessness, you need a household income north of $500,000 a year. That's the world of dual-income physicians, tech executives, venture-backed founders, and business owners with serious cash flow. At this tier, the home is no longer just a place to live, it's a financial statement, a balance sheet move. But here is what's wild, and this part is important. Even at this tier, people overextend. People earning $600,000 a year buy $4 million homes and suddenly feel poor, because the number on your income statement doesn't matter if the number on your mortgage eats it alive. Lifestyle inflation at the top of the income ladder is just as dangerous as financial pressure at the bottom. The trap doesn't care what price tier you're in. So what's the actual takeaway here? Affordability is not what the bank approves you for. Banks have approved families for loans that quietly destroyed them. Affordability is the number that lets you sleep at night with a full emergency fund, retirement contributions still running, debt manageable, and margin in your budget for life to happen. Know your income, know your number, work toward it, and don't let a beautiful listing and a low-interest teaser rate rush you into the biggest financial decision of your life. Here's the simple framework before you ever make an offer. Your monthly housing costs should not exceed 28% of your gross monthly income. Run that number first. Then, talk to a lender. If this video finally made housing math click for you, subscribe, because every single week, we break down money in the way school never did. Smart money. Real freedom.